for watching the show. Just went live. I'm happy that you're here. Today we're going to be going through some of the Unreal Engine assets that are featured on the marketplace for free. Every month there's some free assets and we're going to go exploring through them. Let's switch the display. Here we go. Let me turn on my light over here. Cool. So here we are. I am already in one of the Unreal Engine assets, one of the maps for the day. This is the sky level. Let's back out of this and go start from the beginning. It's a very good place to begin. We go to library. Let's do an overview of what we're working with today. We go to marketplace. We head over to the free category. We go down to free for the month. And we've got underwater world. We've got isometric world. We've got big star station lumen. And then there's endless random procedural worlds, which I'm interested in. And then there's Mediterranean rustic interior. So before the broadcast, I started off by loading these into the projects, into the same project folder file. So we've got the underwater world. Let's start with the first one here. We can go into library. I created a file called FFM April 23, and I just, after purchasing these, which again, they're free, so you add them to cart, checkout, and then you can add them into your file, and then when you load into the file, they'll be there. So I've already done that. And so if you're new to watching, my name is Andy, aka Aptitude. I'm glad that you're here. This is a new channel. It's going to be focused around Unreal Engine, documenting the discovery process, exploring some of the features, building worlds, exploring new frontiers. And so we have the default editor. Let's jump into our first level that we wanted to explore. Little tip, if you do Control Shift W, here, I'll turn on the hotkey display. I'll do that again. Control Shift W. That will pull up the widget reflector. This is how you can make your screen bigger. Good, hopefully everyone can see. And in the File Explorer, we can go down to our first one. We wanted to take a look at the underwater world. So most of these usually have an overview and then a demo level. So let's start with the overview. We're going to take a look in here. We see some materials, static meshes, yes. And we see a shark. And this shark is a skeletal mesh. And I took a peek before at this one, so I know that this mesh is actually made up of, let's go find this shark. Yes, it's in the meshes, shark. There's actually a physics asset to this one. So we can actually jump in here. This is the physics window, physics asset window. And so there's already some stuff behind. This is the structure of this physics asset. We've got the pectoral, which is kind of the main bone in this physics simulation. And then we've got the backbone. Pectorals connected to the backbone, and then the backbone has a tree stem that goes to this lower backbone, and then we've got the fin, so it's like that. And if yours looks a little different than mine, that's because I already took a peek in here. I did something where I selected all of these and I did regenerate bodies, and so I kind of switched around the display here. No worries, should work the same. When you press simulate, however, stuff happens. This is a sad looking shark simulation. Poor little guy. All right. So what else can you do with simulation meshes? I'm not too sure. I'm not an expert on this part, but part of this channel is about exploring these assets. Maybe we'll work up the courage next time to dive deeper. I will save this. One idea I can think of is rigging it. Simulating a shark falling through water. I don't know how that could be used. Maybe you could generate several sharks and they could be doing things, but I think what we want actually is the skeleton. Yeah, this is like the place where you'd be able to build out its skeletal mesh and turn it into a control rig. We're just taking a peek at this. What's in the asset pack? Let's back out of this. This is the overview. I'm a little confused why I am showing things are looking a little choppy. Okay. Might be because I'm streaming. Anyways, it's work in progress. Thank you for joining. My name is Andy, and we are looking at the underwater demo world. Okay, so that is the quick view of what we're going to be working with. Let's take a look at the level. Now, we are in the underwater. Hey, what's up? William Zhao, thanks for joining in. Viewer number 1. Glad you're here, man. Awesome. Oh man, it's looking real choppy. It shouldn't be. I'm streaming, thanks to you, through the pass-through to my laptop, out of the laptop into the YouTube. So I'm not too sure why it's a little choppy right now. Don't think I have anything else in the background. I do. I have 2 instances of Unreal Engine running. That is why. And it's the same file. So yes, we're learning. Don't have 2 instances of a very processor heavy game engine running at the same time while you're trying to stream it to YouTube. Great. All right. So I took a peek through this and I saw that we have like a game start. The player start, if you're gonna be downloading this for the first time, the player start is down here. And I'll show you what happens is if you press play, you're kind of stuck. You can't really get into the scene. So I've noticed with these assets that we can all play around with that there's always like some little sort of trick or little challenge that you have to overcome. And then you can experience the intended thing. One little trial and tribulation. So now we're in the world. We got this shark over here looking ferocious. I think we can turn up the post-processing volume, get a little more light going in here. If we turn the exposure up, it's a little too much. Yep, that's looking better. Still a little hard to see. No, that's okay. All right, we got more light in here. So this is pretty cool. We got, if you press spacebar, when you're in the play mode, you can kind of swim up. If you press Control, you can kind of swim down. So this is a good starter template for if you're going to be playing with water worlds. So I wonder if that has anything to do with the recent movie, The Way of the Water. I would venture to say yes. I bet that's probably why there's a few water assets coming out right now. But one thing about this that I really like, and I'm curious about, is with the post-processing volume, you see it's kind of wavy. So how do they do that? It is, again, I took a peek before I started streaming, so I was a little prepared for this one. We've got a post-processing material, and it's called MI Waves. If we take a look at that, double click on the material instance, nothing shows up here because we got it because we're in the instance. We want to go into the material, the parent material, and we are down into the materials view. We see it's only feeding into the emissive color. That's what's getting this effect going. And materials are not my expertise, so we're just going to try and logic our way through this. Hopefully we'll pick something up. But what's happening here is there's a panner in the X and Y, which we can kind of see. And then there's text coordinates. And if you're not sure what that means, you can press Control and Alt, and it will give you a little bit more information, which is an expression outputs UV texture coordinates in the form of a 2-channel vector value, allowing materials to use different UV channels, specify tiling, and otherwise operate on the UVs of a mesh. So we need this in order to feed into this texture sample. This is the texture sample. So it's kind of like going through the texture sample with like a level of opacity to get this kind of look. If you look closely, you can see it's the same thing. It's just passing through this at different speeds. And then we need this to do this stuff. Again, we need the text coordinates so that the input of a UV works. And then you take the color, emissive. So again, I'm not totally sure what any of that meant. If you know what it means, maybe you could comment, explain in the comments. That'd be very, very much appreciated. I think the other option is reading the documentation, which is here. If you go to help of any page, you can go to material editor documentation, or you can even press, I guess, F1? No. Yeah. And then it brings up, or you can ask ChatGPT. But this is the documentation, which maybe we'll dive into in another stream. But anyways, let's continue on. We're in this place. We saw, let's take a look at these lights. How do they get this kind of stream of light through the water effect going? It's just a spotlight, and the spotlight is going through a the main thing is atmospheric fog. And so if we boost up the atmospheric fog, we'll probably get a more intense light. So how do we do that? We just boost. Let's see what we can do. Advanced. Okay, let's try and use our brains. Let's slow down. I'm just smashing buttons. If we do atmospheric fog, yep, that's not the thing that we're looking for. What we're looking for, yeah, so the exponential height fog. And then if we turn up the density here, nice. Let's use more than 3 of our brain cells. To be honest, No clue. Yeah. No worries, man. Thanks for hanging out. Humble beginnings. Just starting out. If we turn this way up, yeah, there we go. So now it's super foggy, murky water. If we turn it down, it's even clearer. And then you get a spotlight shining through, and that is how you get this cool light effect through the sun, imitating where the sun's at. Actually, I'm a little curious. Let's go to the edge of the world. Does the water go forever? Goodbye. It does. Okay, the water goes forever. All right, just doing that out of curiosity. No other. Well, maybe let's take a look at the water. What is the water made of? I think it's the sky sphere. The sky sphere. Post-process. It's not the foliage. It's not the directional light. However, I'm kind of curious if we, oops. I'm kind of curious to move the directional light. Yeah, so the directional light is really, or these rocks, the rock surfaces are really important for the scene. It's kind of a blocking light. Cool. I mean, is there anything else that you're interested that I can check out, inspect? Anything that you're interested in looking into? I remember there was a jellyfish. The jellyfish, they look kind of blown out right now. I think that's because I turned the exposure way too high. So let's turn that back down. Oops. Post-process, let's turn it down to, I'm going to turn this down a bit. There we go. So we got the bioluminescent jellyfish. So when we click on these types of things, we can, where is it? Double click on the material. This is a material instance, and we've got the jellyfish. Let's hop into the material. And so these parameters, when these parameters are here, that means that they were exposed in the material editor and that we can now easily manipulate them from here. So emissive, there's flatness, and then there's index, if reflection, and then there's opacity, and there's roughness, and materials. So yeah, all the stuff that we were just messing around with, you can mess around with that stuff when it's promoted to a promote to, what's it called? You promote it. It's promoted. And then when that's promoted, you get the scalar values that you can manipulate. Hopefully that made sense. All right, well, that is the overview of underwater world. Let's take a look at the next one. Say, is there an isolate exposure setting, like the change of percentage of environmental light for a single object? Oh, well, what you can do is put a post-process volume over a space. So let's do that. Post-process, post-process We're going to do volume, or I think it's a volume that we're trying to do. Yeah. So where did that go? So number 2, is it down here? Oh, for some reason it went all the way outside. Okay. Let's get our post-process volume over our shark. Like this. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna get this over the shark. Let's make it bigger. Okay. And then what you can do is change the exposure. You can blow it up a lot. And what happens is as soon as you go into that volume, that effect will take effect. So the bounds is right there. Does that answer? Is there an isolate exposure setting, like to change percentage of environmental? Does that answer your question? I hope it does. I'm seeing if there's an intensity, if I can. Yeah, so, I mean, this is cool. It's like just a space that if you go into, an effect will happen. So I turned on chromatic aberration. So it's like I step into here and it's like, whoa, danger. Right? It's like imagine that. Oh, that's actually a cool idea. Look, hear this out. It's like attach this post-process volume to like a shark and have the shark swimming around. And so if you're back, if you're like doing something else and it starts to swim within the radius, it will change to like an effect of chromatic aberration. So it's like simulating your vision, starting to be like, oh, something's weird, you know? That's an idea. So you would just attach a post-process volume to the shark. That's an idea. We're game designing. Let's see, we have the next up is isometric world. I took a look at this one too, and it is super cool. Super, super cool. Let's jump into it. Sky Temple, maps. Let's go to the showcase first. That's how we do it. Take a look at the materials in a nice laid out view. We're going to be looking at a place with water. That's the water material. That's what I was saying. It's like water. Got water on the mind. And then we've got ground pieces. So these look very stylized. And then there's architecture. So we're going to be in some sort of ruins. There's sculptures. It's got cool material applied to it. I like this sort of decayed grass, dirt thing. And then we've got runes. Very cool. We got cliffs. And we got decals. And decals are something that are kind of new for me, but they're pretty straightforward. They're like stickers. They're like materials that you can put on top of materials. They're like layered materials. We'll look into that later. Uh-oh, what am I doing? What happened here? Okay, cool. Let's move on to the demo. Wow. So if you open up your demo, it should look something like this. And there's also one other thing. I took a peek in this one, so I know that your demo will probably look something like this if you first load in. And what a cool load in, huh? Doesn't this look awesome? So this is isometric world. So to get the isometric world going, oh, yours also won't have a dude over here. I was playing around with like trying to animate stuff. But let's press play and see what happens. So this is isometric world. And it's already a ready to play game. Sort of. I mean, these are the building blocks for a game. Or maybe the learning ground. And so you can run around. I'm just doing mouse, left click, click and dragging, kind of like Diablo or something. And we can cross the bridge. We can also fall off, I think. No. So we're just running around, running around. I know that there's some really cool runes and cliffs or rune displays. Let's go down the path. La 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 la. There's our first one. I was looking at these. Doesn't that look cool? It's got like a rotation. It's got particles going on. But wait, there's more. We've got a big spinny thing. A magical spinny thing. Amazing. And yours won't have this dude here. But yeah, so we got like a cool spinning particle motion magical item thing. So let's take a look at, well, let me know what you want me to take a look at. I'm noticing some stuff. Like, for example, there's clouds. I really like the cloud effect here. Can you see it? There's clouds all over the place. Atmospheric fog. Let's take a look at this rune sphere. So, to take a look, let me just show that again. To take a look, if it's a blueprint like this, we can just go edit blueprint rune sphere. And we're brought into the blueprint editor. Right now we're on, what we're looking at here, can't say that I'm 100% sure. I think it has something to do with the rotation of those spinny things that we were looking at. If we go to the viewport, we could play it, and then it hopefully doesn't crash. Did it just, no, nothing happens. Nothing happens because this is a game, so I think it has to be simulated, yes. Oh man, this is bugging out, I think. Is it? Looks like it kind of is. No, looks right. Magical. If we click this, we can go to the event graph. See that there's tons of stuff happening over here. Not tons, but more than we know what to deal with. But what do I know? Well, I'm kind of interested in learning about the Niagara particle systems. So let's do that. So over here is the components panel. And you can go to Niagara, which is the particle system. And then going into the particle asset, double clicking on this thing. Now we have the particles. The fountain, it's a fountain system. And we can kind of see that, to my eyes, I see the vortex force. That's the thing making it spin. So the vortex is what's making it spin. It's got some cool colors going on, so it's cycling through this over its life. Each particle goes through these colors. And then we've got point of attraction. That is going to be the center. So it's trying to go to the center, right? And then there's a vortex that's preventing that. And so when it balances out, it's got a pretty neat looking visualization there. And there's curl noise, which is like basically adding randomness so that it's not so uniform. There's more variety. And the emitters, we got the spawn rate. This is just how fast it's going to be spawning. You can up these and get a bunch more particles going. Let's see what happens when we 2.5 times, just more particles, which might or might not be the best thing, right? If you're trying to save space, then aiming for as few particles as possible to get the visual effect across might be the goal. For a game, definitely you're trying to save space, but for a film, if you're making one, then you might want to crank it up and bake it out and see what happens. Anyways, this is the fountain, which means it's like sprouting out. And that is the blueprint for the rune, for the particles. Let's go back to this rune though real quick. We have a static mesh here, and attached to the static mesh is 5 rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ring 1, I looked into this. This is like 0.6 size. This is ring 2, which is 0.7, so it's a little bigger. Ring 5 for whatever, it's named ring 5, but should be ring 3, I think. 0.8, 0.9, 1.05. And then they've got, I think it's something like each of these rings are spinning together in this type of pattern. If we play it, what happens? Viewport, simulate. While it's simulating, can we see? Doesn't this look offset or something? Am I imagining that? I think I am. Okay, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so these are just the different paths of the spinning that each ring is going through. Cool. All right, now we've taken a look at that. Let's exit out of this. We are in the world. I want to show the post-processing volume again. We've got this post-process sharpen. So this is kind of a too much, I think. When I first loaded in, I was like, whoa, it looks too sharp. So that's what I consider an Easter egg, or like one of those first trials that you should, that the maker of this map probably was intending for you to play with and notice, and which is that you can just turn down the sharpness here to something that's a little more manageable. But let's take a look at how they did that. If we double click into here, we're looking at the material. We are in the material node tree. And so again, it's kind of similar with what we saw. There's text coordinates that are required to feed into UVs for scene, texture, post-process inputs. They're added, divided. Numbers are, things happen. And then we have sharpen power, and it turns into an emissive color. So if you can totally understand that, that's great. If you can build them, that's even greater. I, however, don't do that quite yet, but I'll show you a trick, is that if you stumble on a cool asset, cool material that you want to save, you can just go right click, show in your Explorer. And so when you open it up in an Explorer like this, you can do Control, copy, Control C, and then put it into like a master folder like this, UE assets. And then what you can do is when you start a new project, if you're like, oh, I want to add a sharpen, you can just go into this little toolbox and add it into your project of choice. So I already started, yeah, I already have it in here. But that's how you can start building up a toolbox of your own. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to also like really dig into how they actually do that, right? That might be coming up. I might be doing that in a future video. And again, we can go into here, look it through this, and then if it makes no sense, head over to the documentation and read all about it. But what else? What else? What else? Let's take a look. I want to see the clouds, little cloud assets. Close out of this. How do I grab that? Where is it? Blocking volume. Blocking volume. Blocking volume. I don't actually know. Oh, I see. So a blocking volume is for game design, so it's like the character doesn't run off the map. So, for example, if we right click here, play from here, we're on the edge. There is no blocking volume. What happens? What? Okay, that was a bad example. What if I start on the roof? Can I jump off? Oh. Oh God, we're breaking the. Yes. Oh. Come on. Where can I jump off? We're breaking the game. Oh, what? Can I spawn over here? What happens if I spawn here? Play from here. Oh. Okay. And so if you fall off the edge of the earth, what you can do is double click on any item in the level outliner, and you will be transported back. You'll be revived. We could take a look at this one as well. Kind of wanted to take a look at the clouds. How do we grab one of the clouds? Let's jump to a cloud. Here we go. If we double click this, here we go. PS cloud. Here we are. I really like the look of these clouds. It's a particle system. It's a Niagara particle. We've got emitter state, the spawn rate, the initialized particle, the sprite. So I don't actually know how these sprites are. Like these sprites look like, doesn't this icon look different than what we just were in? No, because it's a combination of these two. But then the parent, the particle effect master, this is what the master particle is, I guess. That's what was confusing me. Whatever. So it's something like this. It's the cloud one, cloud. So anyways, it's got I was noticing it's got a rotation to it. Sprite rotation, if we turn that way up, multiply by 10, we got really fast moving clouds that doesn't look good. Doesn't look bad, but that's what the, little, again, dimensionality to it, where it's like, it's not just a flat sitting piece of puff. It's not a puffball stranded there. Maybe that's the aesthetic you're going for though, but maybe that's what you'd want to replicate. I could imagine like a world with trying to imitate like an actual puffball. If you're making like a game about stop motion, you'd be replicating a scene that you built with objects around your house, and maybe you'd be replicating like a smoky scene. Like in real life you would use like a puffball, and so maybe if you were replicating the real world, how you would do that, you would turn off rotation. I don't know. I was let's just continue on. Okay. We've got another rune over here that I wanted to take a peek at. Oh, and the decals. I want to take a look at the decals, and then we can move on to the next level. These decals, how do they work? Decals. So this is, again, this is a blueprint. And a blueprint, an actor blueprint like this is kind of like a grouped layer. So it's got multiple things kind of packed onto it, and then you can do stuff with it. But so this actor blueprint has this default scene root, and then attached to that is the static mesh, and then attached to the static mesh is a particle system, and then attached to the static mesh is a decal 1 and another decal. And so if we, let's try to apply this decal to like this. Yep. How do we do that? I think if we go decal, search for it in the thing, in the Explorer. Let's do material instance decal. Let's try it. I think if we just, yeah. I mean, you just literally click and drag. That's cool. Very easy to do. And then what is the trick though? Is it like, yeah, so it's just, it's like the post-processing volume, where it's like you're specifying the volume that it's going to go over. And so this, so if you make it real thin like this, like when I first said that, I was like, let's put it on this, So let's try and do that. I think we can, I don't know if I'm cheating because I am just using the manual resize option. Is there a better way to do that decal size? I think so. Yes, I think it's these options. What I was doing was wrong, where I was like, I was just manually resizing it with the scaling tool. So let's go back. Let's go back and use the proper way to do that, which is the decal size. So it's like basically the same thing, except I have a feeling the decal is going to stay proportional and not explode. We have the decal size here, and then we can just move it around like this for sure. Then we could probably also rotate it. Yeah. So rotating it, it's kind of getting it. So it's like an element of, you know, sort of messing with it until it works how you want. But I think for scaling, you want to use this. And then we have, okay, and then we can have like a fade. Fade start delay. I don't know. What does this do? Sort order. Okay, so if you had multiple decals, you could have one on top. Let's test that out. This is a different color. And then let's scale this down like that. I think we need to, yep, get it so that it's like that. And I think if we have this on 0, and then we, uh-oh, where did it go? Decal. Yes, that's it, that's it. Sort order 1. 1. Dang. I think because in order to get this to work, we'd probably have to have this block. The decals would be and turn this into like a blueprint. And then sort order would work, kind of like layers. But for now, they're not really interacting. Wait, maybe if I just, no. Sort order, this block, where's this block? Let's close this, static mesh. F2 to change the name of this block. Then we go, now we got this block, and I want to add the decal. Okay, to this block. Wait, how do I even manage this? There's so much going on. Let's close this, decals. Trying to put it on this block. There it is. Now that that's done, nah. If we right click and turn this into a group, all I'm trying to do is have the darker decal on top of the brighter decal. It's not super crucial, but we're here, so might as well try and figure this one out. I'm exploring decals at this point. So group actor, no, I don't think grouping is the correct way. I think what we're looking for is something like if we turn this into a blueprint, blue actor, basic actor, okay. And then, okay, if this doesn't work, we are moving on, moving out of here. I don't want to kill the vibe because we were flying around different cool things, and I feel like right now we're kind of detoured and stuck in a little side thing. It's good to know, good to develop, but if it ain't happening, let's keep moving. You know what? We're just gonna keep moving. Let's keep moving along. So, what I was testing with this guy, your version won't have a guy like this. I was trying to see if we could animate a little camera movement. And where I got hung up was with the background object animating. So if we turn on simulation, that would work. But it's a little choppy. Actually, yeah, that's the, okay, well that works. That works for now. But really, the difference here is that I'm trying to play around with the mindset of film, you know, filming, getting animation materials, cutscenes, whereas the object here is really made for this game. And when we press play, it starts to animate. That's because it's built to do it that way. These are all built into this blueprint system for the game type. And we can take a little peek behind the curtain at how the game works. I saw that there was another asset in here. Another map that we can kind of explore. It's not in the, where is it? Blueprints, runes, nope. Effects, nope. Maps. Architecture, effects, runes, sculpture, water. Meshes, textures. Okay, well, let's keep moving. We've got, I remember there was one more map that we could have taken a look at. Showcase, temple, demo. It's not this one. That's where we are, I believe. Yeah, I know. Is there something else here? I don't think so. Whatever. All right. Well, let's keep moving, you know? Up next, we're heading over to, I think, Endless World. I have not taken a look at this yet. We were on Isometric World. Now we're heading to Endless World. The other one requires, there's another, here, let's take a look at what else we had for free for the month. In the marketplace, again, we're heading to marketplace, and we got free for the month. Yeah, there's Big Star Station Lumen. And so, yeah, for this one, you actually have to create your own, a whole nother project. If you go to free, you go to your library, and you try to add it. Looks like it requires adding to a whole new project. So anyways, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all good. We're going to go over to Endless World. Let's not dilly-dally anymore. We're going to demo. There's test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, test 6, test 7, test S01, or demo map. I'm excited. This is exciting. Let's go test 01. Let's zip through these and then go to the demo map. Okay, we get we're greeted with a beautiful black screen. Am I missing something? All right, well, that was test 01. Here we are on test 02. We got nothing. All right, Endless World. Okay, let's just go to the world demo map. We're started way out here. Current context. So this is cool. This is like a new thing. So what am I looking at? Endless World demo, persistent. Let's see. Simulate. If you press simulate, you're hit with a texture streaming budget overload, whatever. R dot texture streaming. R dot streaming dot pool size 1600. All right. Pixel streaming. So what is this? This is Endless World demo. So what? I'm guessing it's like a generative world thing. Endless World demo. Endless World third-person template. I'm really interested. This is what I'm talking about. All of these always have like some beginning like trial and tribulation that you have to get through. The blueprint could not be loaded because it derives from an invalid class. Check to make sure the parent class for this blueprint hasn't been removed. Do you want to continue? It can crash the editor. Yes. We want to go. Third person overview. Let's take a look. No, this is data only. Compile. Oh boy. Okay, let's not do that. Level, endless, persistent. We got this this thing down here. Let's see. This might be the challenge for the stream today. Let's see if we can figure out how to get this working. If we go to the endless random procedural world, we see that it says note for multiplayer and for biomes, see this product instead. For multiplayer and biomes, see this product instead. Endless random procedural worlds with level streaming. So mine didn't look like this. Other assets, endless random worlds with biomes, simple flying AI. So description, create an endless world by dynamically streaming levels as the player moves, similar to Minecraft chunks. Perfect for endless open worlds or endless interior maps like roguelike dungeons or the back rooms. Simple to use and can be set up in minutes. See video below. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna check the demo video, see what they suggest we do. Wait, is this on? Oh, that's right. I don't have, I don't. That's an improvement that needs to be done is getting a mixer for this stream so that I can split the audio from this computer into the computer I'm using for streaming. But let's see, do we have closed captions? No. I want to run through a procedurally generating world like that. Streams forever, supports custom levels, changeable. Thanks for, okay, cool. Link on the epic details, create an endless, add your own custom, simple, for more, okay. Setup. Continue to external, dang. So I don't have audio right now for this. Let me see, oh, I know. So it's kind of unfair for you guys because you'll just be watching me listen. But if you want to watch along, feel free to join. Oh boy. All right, you know what? Forget it. Maybe we'll be doing, maybe I'll look into this another time and then off stream. But for now, since we're streaming, let's keep the show going. I don't want to just derail this. I'll need to set up.
I found this on the web.
Thanks, Siri. I'll need to set this up so that it's got the mixer in the future if we want to listen to audio while streaming, which we probably will. We'll want to do that. So So let's keep moving. We got also in the packs that we can check out, Mediterranean. Let's take a look at Mediterranean. I have a feeling this one is just going to be an asset pack. It's going to be chill. We're going to be able to take a breather while we're exploring new Unreal Engine assets. Let me know below which has been your favorite place that we explored, what you're interested in, game design or film design. But without further ado, here we are in the Mediterranean. Oh, it's nice. Is there a game mode? No. What? Mediterranean maps. Oh. What? Kind of it's a bit underwhelming, but beggars can't be choosers, right? All right. Okay, so this is the Mediterranean map. We can expand on this. Let's do that. Oh boy. Oh man. Things are starting to break. You know what? I feel like this was a really good first stream. I might be calling it quits. How long have we been going? It's been like exactly 1 hour, which is it's a good amount of time for a stream. I think we'll pause it. We'll call it here. I wanted to say thank you for watching. Thanks Will for participating in the chat. Maybe we can talk after about how to improve this. And I will see you guys in the next stream, in the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.